Ryanair is an airline that has long been comically associated with cutting costs by whatever means. From jokes about charging for toilet usage to the carrier's own social media accounts leaning into its thrifty reputation, it's become a part of the overall Ryanair experience. There is one unusual point that many Ryanair passengers have commented on, namely the airline's alleged tendency to perform harder than usual landings. Both online chatter and word of mouth have furthered this claim, although others have dismissed it as imaginary. So, is there any truth to the notion that Ryanair landings are harder than your average airline? To get right to the topic of this video, there are unfortunately no official statistics that can give us a definite answer about Ryanair's association with hard landings. However, there is some logic to the idea that you're more likely to encounter a hard landing when flying with the European carrier. Here are a few factors to consider. Some have speculated that a higher frequency of hard landings is due to low-cost carriers like Ryanair tending to employ pilots in the earlier stages of their careers. This means that more landings on average are conducted by captains and first officers on the younger side, possibly raising the chances of irregular landings. However, this notion is countered by the fact that Ryanair pilots often perform multiple sectors per day, which actually increases the number of landings they carry out. Another possible factor is Ryanair's rapid turnaround times of around 25 minutes. This means getting passengers off the plane, boarding a new set of passengers and then taking off, all within that short time. Thus, some speculate that pilots perform hard landings because they, quote, like to get off the runway at the first taxiway, because less time spent taxiing means more chance of turning around on time. Responding to this suggestion on the Avsim forum, other users agreed, with one claiming to have heard this directly from a commercial pilot. Another jokingly states his experience is that Ryanair taxi speeds tend to be, quote, just short of V1. Another possibility, as LCCs tend to target smaller airports, their aircraft often encounter shorter runways. This means their planes need to get down on the runway quickly and also with enough force to immediately enforce stopping power. Essentially, the shorter the runway, the smaller the margins of error are for pilots and the higher the risk of an accident or go-around. Given the many smaller secondary airports in its network, Ryanair places an emphasis on getting the aircraft down. It could also be noted that the airline maintains one of the industry's highest daily aircraft utilization rates for its fleet at over 9 hours per day. This can lead some of its aircraft to feel a bit more dated, meaning passengers will often feel and hear every creak and bump. One could also consider that the Boeing 737-800 and MAX 8 are among the more difficult commercial aircraft to land, particularly with their longer fuselages. This means pilots have to be more careful when performing flares to avoid tail strikes, raising the risk of landing at a high descent rate. Ultimately, whether Ryanair's reputation for hard landings is fact or fiction, it must be highlighted that the airline has maintained an exemplary safety record of 0 fatal crashes in all of its years of operations, with just a single airframe loss in Rome in 2008 following a massive bird strike. But what has your experience been? Let us know by leaving a comment. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.